Hey guys, this is LKM Cherokee, and today I'm going to be talking about Ring of Honor Wrestling's Supercard of Honor 10 show, which happened about 2 weeks ago. I'm learning all the features of my 2-in-1 tablet that I have right now, which I'm recording this on. So without further ado, let's get into this recap. So night 1 is, with opening match was Bobby Fish defeating Christopher Daniels. It was a pretty good match. This is to build up for Fish to go into his match with 2 out of 3 falls match against Roger Strong for night 2. And it was a good way to start the show. Next, you have Roger Strong defeating Moose, where you have Bobby Fish on commentary, where throughout the match, Strong would try to get into Fish's head, to where Kevin Kelly was telling Fish that if he was going to stay out here for the match, he had to sit on commentary. He couldn't attack Strong, so Strong would take some cheap shots at him. But ultimately, at the end, after Roger Strong uses the referee as distracting, he hits 3 jumping knees to pin Moose. So your next match is 6-man mayhem. Dalton Castle defeating Cheeseburger, Joey Diego, Adam Page, Frankie Kazarian, and Donovan Dijak. This was the worst match on the show, and wasn't really that memorable. You had BJ Whitmer on commentary. He was actually supposed to be in this match, but he got paid off by the House of Truth. Kind of disappointing. They didn't try to build up anything for Whitmer and Page's feud, but oh well. Afterwards, you get Kyle O'Reilly and Matt Sydal. This was a really good match where you had Sydal working O'Reilly's leg over, and then O'Reilly working Sydal's arm over. And the match ends with Sydal trying to do a shooting star press from the top rope, and then O'Reilly catches him in a triangle choke. Sydal tries to get out, but O'Reilly transitions into the cross arm breaker, and Sydal has no choice but to tap. That was a much better match. And then we get to Adam Cole ACH. This was a great match, to where they're using these matches to build up Cole and O'Reilly's match, no holds barred match for the next night. And Cole and ACH, they put on a really good show, where you had, at the beginning, you had Cole pretty much taunting ACH, going, "Adam Cole, baby!" And then ACH pretty much decides to mock Cole. It was fun. It's pretty funny. They had some fun spots during the match, to where the match ends with Adam Cole using the referee, distracting him so he can hit a low blow on ACH, and then he hits his neck breaker for the win. Then the next match is 8-man tag match. Briscoe brothers teaming up with War Machine against Silas Young, the Beer City Bruiser, and the All Night Express. This was a fun match to where these guys were brawling all over the place. You had All Night Express, Beer City Bruiser, and Young working over Mark Briscoe. He makes the hot tag to Jay. Max breaks down. And then the Briscoes and War Machine end up going over at the end. And then you get to what to me was the best match on night 1. The ROH World Championship match against Jay Lethal, with Jay Lethal defending against Leo Rush. Where Leo Rush, the winner of the 2016 Ring of Honor Top Prospect Tournament, where he was supposed to get a shot at Ishii, but due to the fact that Ishii's busy working in Japan, since he belongs to New Japan, and he didn't have any time to stop by ROH. ROH put this match together, and I really liked it, to where it shows Leo Rush as the underdog going in, where Jay Lethal was just messing around with him most of the match, and Rush just pretty much takes the fight to Lethal. There's one spot where Taylor Hendricks was distracting Rush, and when she turns around, he smacks her right on the ass, man. It was hilarious. And that was after Lethal tried to do a springboard dropkick, and Leo Rush was on the apron and he backflips to the outside of the ring. Where as he gets back on the apron, Lethal hits the springboard dropkick, follows up with a suicide dive. The match ends where Leo Rush tries to go for his finisher Rush Hour off the top rope, but Lethal counters into an ace crusher, followed with the lethal injection for the 3 count. Then after the match, Lethal cuts a promo. He's like, "I'm the best in the world." He then proceeds to put over Leo Rush and says, "You're good. You're really good. One day you'll be better than me. Somebody's gonna have to surpass me one day, but not today, cause I'm right now the best in the world, and there's nobody left for me to face." Then Colt Cabana's music cues, and he comes out, and he tells Lethal that you say there's no one left to face. I've seen the ROH World Title held from Joe to Bryan Danielson to CM Punk, and I've never held that world title, so he issues the challenge to Lethal, pretty much. And that segment ends. And then you got the main event, the Young Bucks defeating the Motor City Machine Guns. This match had it was a really good match. Good way to end the show. Where that match had a total of 17 super kicks, I believe. Was it 17? Yeah, it had to be about 17 super kicks. And that was a pretty much good match. And there's one point in the match where where Shelley tried to make the hot tag to save him, but Matt Jackson cuts him off and he spits on Saban, and then some fan chants, "This isn't TNA anymore, Matt." Like, actually no, he says, "This ain't TNA anymore, faggot." And then the fans, yeah, Steve Corino, "You can't say those 3 letters." Then this prompts a massive "fuck TNA" chant. That was really funny, man. Young Bucks ended up hitting the Meltzer driver for the 3 count, though. So Supercard of Honor Night 1. I had a lot of fun with it, so I give it 8 out of 10. My problem with it was Lethal versus Rush for the world title wasn't the main event. Like, you have your world title, world champion with Jay Lethal. He's supposed to be the top guy, so he should have main evented. I mean, the Young Bucks and Motor City Machine Guns, it was a good way to end the show, but it would have been better if you had Lethal and Rush, and then you had Colt Cabana come out, and he cuts his promo. That would have been a better way to end the show. So it's an 8 out of 10. Really good night. So on to night 2, which it lost some of the steam that night 1 had, to where the opening match, Jay Lethal squashes Cheeseburger for the ROH World Title. He retains. Nothing really memorable. Then it prompts Colt Cabana to come out, and Colt Cabana's like, "Really, Jay? Cheeseburger?" And he pretty much challenged Lethal, and he says that he doesn't have the balls to face him. Like, Truth Martini's not there. You can't call your own shots. Lethal goes, you want a match with me?" And then pretty much cheap shots him, and then the match starts. It was a real short match, shorter than his match with Cheeseburger, and Cabana wins with a roll-up. It was okay. Nothing special. Then we get to Matt Sydal and ACH versus the All Night Express. That was a pretty good match. Most of the match was All Night Express working over Matt Sydal's ribs. And then, Matt Sydal make the hot tag to ACH. It was a good match, solid match, to where it started to pick up from ACH. You had Donovan Dijak defeating Will Ferrara, which is the next match. Solid match. He had a couple botches when Dijak was going for his moonsault, going for a moonsault off the second rope onto Will Ferrara on the outside. Like, Ferrara wasn't in the right position, and it just looked horrible. Then the next botch was Dijak. He's gonna do some kind of a springboard attack, but he lost his balance. He ended up falling over, but he ended up going over with the Feast Your Eyes. And he had Joey Daddiego on commentary. And then after the match, Joey Daddiego tapes his fist and he starts punching Dijak's ribs, which Dijak got the injured ribs from night one after Dalton Castle won that six-man mayhem match, and Joey Daddiego Taylor Hendricks handed him a chair. He stabs Dijak in the ribs and he starts hitting him across the back. And you have more of that, so it's to build up their feud even more. It's a okay feud. I don't really find Daddiego being able to damage Dijak believable. When you go back to that one ROH episode where him and Dijak teamed up against War Machine, where that match, the whole match, when Daddiego was attacking Hanson or Rowe, they no-sold his punches. And then Dijak was able to damage them. It's just not really believable. But I don't hate the feud. It's okay. Then you have Bobby Fish and Roger Strong in the 2 out of 3 falls match. Fish winning. Where that was a really good match to where Strong got the first fall when he distracted the ref, hit Fish with a high knee, then hit the end of Arctic for the 3 count. And then Bobby Fish got a surprise roll-up for the second fall, and then the third fall. It was really great, where you had these counters, Strong spamming high knees, and then Fish, he tried to do a bunch of kicks to where he baited Strong where he was going to kick him in the chest. Strong catches Fish's leg, and Fish quickly goes into the knee bar, gets Strong in the middle ring, and Strong has no choice but to tap, so Fish got the third fall and the win. That was the second best match on the card. Then we get to War Machine versus Silas Young and the Beer City Bruisers. That was a pretty solid match, where you had, toward before the match, it was originally a non-title match, but Silas Young got on the mic, cut a promo, and he said, War Machine, if you guys are real men, you'll defend those belts against me and the Beer City Bruisers. We should be the tag team titles. So, that War Machine accepts. They start brawling, and then for a period of time you have Rowe getting worked over by Young and Bruiser. Makes the act out at Hanson, and then fast forward to the end, where Silas tried to do Misery, but Hanson had a cartwheel clothesline or something. Can't remember exactly. But was it Hanson or... Yeah. Can't remember, but... Anyway, you had But they hit Fallout on... No, it was Fallout on Young. They hit Fallout on Young at the end for the win. And then you had Dalton Castle versus BJ Whitmer. Match didn't really interest me. Kind of boring match. Castle went over with the Bangarang after Whitmer was got distracted by the boys. Can't stand Dalton Castle. Just straight up hate the man. He's a good worker, but if he had a different character, I could see myself getting behind him. And then you have the 8-man tag match, 4-corner survival to determine the number 1 contenders for the ROH World Tag Team Champions. The Briscoe brothers going over the Addiction, the Motor City Machine Guns, and the Young Bucks. That was a great match. That match had a total of 22 super kicks. To where you had between the Machine Guns and the Bucks. Then the main event, which great way to end the show, Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole, no holds barred, where Cole jumped him from behind as O'Reilly was making his way to the ring. And then you had brutal spots where O'Reilly was taking a lot of punishment. At one point, O'Reilly had there was this part of the barrier that was placed between the two guardrails, and O'Reilly suplexed Cole into that. Then you had a spot where it was at the end where Cole and O'Reilly were going back and forth, and then Cole, actually go before that, Cole was hitting O'Reilly across the back with steel chairs, and O'Reilly was no selling it. Hits Cole with a nasty forearm. Tries to go for a German. Cole hits a German on O'Reilly. O'Reilly no sells it. O'Reilly hits a German. Then he hits a kick to the face on Cole. Boot to the face. Cole responds with a super kick. O'Reilly tries to go for the pendulum clothesline, which they often dubbed as Nigel, since Nigel McGuinness, that was a move he was using in ROH when he was wrestling. But Cole throws the chair at O'Reilly and hits a Shining Wizard for a 2 count. And then at the end, when you had them going back and forth, O'Reilly was kicking Cole in the chest, and it kicks the chest for Cole, and then Cole spits on him, flips him off. O'Reilly hits him with a series of Karana kicks. Cole fights back with a series of forearms. And then he yells at O'Reilly, "Get up, bitch!" And then O'Reilly and Cole just hit each other, hockey fight. Two were standing, and then they were sitting on chairs, and they were doing a hockey fight. And it ends where Kyle O'Reilly ends up hitting the brainbuster onto a chair, onto the two chairs to Cole. Then he takes the chain that he tied to the ropes, wraps around Cole's neck and arm, hits a cross arm breaker. Cole tries to get out, managed to turn it from a cross arm breaker to a triangle chokehold. He tries to powerbomb O'Reilly, but can't due to the pressure of the chain that's wrapped around his arm and neck. And he falls down and he passes out, and O'Reilly's your winner. And that's the end of night 2. So night 2, I give it a 7 out of 10. Like it just was a disappointment compared to night 1, which was great. So overall, Supercard of Honor, I'd have to give it 7.5 out of 10. Good show. Started off strong with night 1, but it lost steam with night 2. So hopefully, let's see what happens with Global Wars, which is their next show. So I hope that they do better, but with some of the matches announced, like the main event, Cole Cabana and Jay Lethal for the world title, kind of feels out of place, because Cabana, he's not really a great worker. Not the greatest worker. I think it'll still be a pretty good match. Then you have Jushin Thunder Liger teaming with Cheeseburger to take on the Addiction. Lame. Kind of lame, if you ask me, but that's a video for another time. So hope you enjoyed this recap of Supercard of Honor, and I'll be there to talk with you guys soon. Have a great day.